Hi guys, it was nice seeing all of you a second ago when we took attendance. Here is a live explanation of a huge project that we always do for our World War One lesson, and it's on the World War One battles. All right. Here's our presentation. It's something that you guys have done before, so it doesn't need a lot of explanation. So hopefully you guys have a good idea about what's going on from the start. So first off, you're going to allow to use Google Slides or Keynote. Most of you prefer to use Google Slides, and that's quite all right. Pay close attention to this. You have an option to work with one other person from any of my world history classes, or you can work on this by yourself. If you choose to work with someone from another class, that's fine. It doesn't matter if they're from the honors class or the regular class, we're all doing the same thing. Here's the options. Now, option number one, if you work by yourself, you are not going to get the most out of this project. Here's option number two. If you work with someone, you're going to have and get the most out of this project and so on. So I prefer that you find someone, one other person, and work with them because it's going to benefit you tremendously. Now, in the next couple of slides, I'm going to show you what your responsibilities are if you work by yourself and if you work with someone. Here we go. So option number one, let's say that you decide to work by yourself. You're like this little guy that's buried in the mud in the trench warfare here. Here's your framework. So slide number one is a title slide. Slide number two, you have the weapons of World War I. So I want to see tons of images of tanks. I want to see tons of images of machine guns and flamethrowers and all kinds of good stuff. Now slide number three, we're going to get into the first battle of World War I, which was on the Eastern Front, and it was the Battle of Tannenberg. Slide number four's focus will be the first Battle of the Marne. Slide number five will be the very deadly Battle of Verdun. Slide number six would be the last major battle of World War I, which is the second battle of the Marne River. And slide number seven, we're going to donate that to the Americans that fought in World War I. Now for this slide, you just have to give a few fun facts and a lot of good images of the Americans joining World War I. Now this is option number one. This is what your responsibilities are if you're working by yourself. Now, if you choose to work with someone, working with someone is preferred. It's highly recommended. You are going to get the absolute most out of this assignment, and you're going to see a couple battles that you didn't do in option number one if you work by yourself, and there's going to be a total understanding of the battles, of all the major battles of World War I, if you choose to do it with someone. If you want to do all 12 slides by yourself, feel free. Knock yourself out, but you don't have to do that. So if you're working with someone, slide number one's a title. Slide number two, an explanation of trench warfare, which should be at the top of your mind, which we can give a lot of good images for. Slide number three is the weapons of World War I. Tons of images like I explained in option number one. Slide number four is the Battle of Tannenberg. 5 is the first Battle of the Marne. 6 is a very interesting, good battle called the Battle of Ypres. Slide number 7 is the Battle of Gallipoli, where we're going to get away from the Eastern Front and Western Front and look at another battle down south that took place in present-day Turkey. Slide number 8, once again, is the very deadly Battle of Verdun. Slide number 9 is the Battle of Jutland. It's a naval battle that was fought in the North Sea that had definite consequences in World War I for Germany. Slide number 10 is the Battle of the Somme River, and slide number 11 is the last battle of World War I, once again, major battle, the second Battle of the Marne. Slide number 12 is the Americans, all right? So we're going to dictate and we're going to give love to the Americans in World War I. And once again, for this slide, give a few fun facts and lots of images. Now, for each battle, you're going to need to research, and remember, use the internet, use whatever you want, and find the following for each battle on each one of those slides. So for each battle, number one, name of the battle, and the battlefront that it was fought on, either the Eastern Front or the Western Front, or another area of the world where those battles were fought in World War I. Second thing you got to do is the duration. So the month and the year that it started and the month and the year that it finished. Allied countries and the total soldiers that were involved. The Central Powers that fought in this battle and the total soldiers from the Central Powers that fought in this battle. Now, number 5 and 6 are interesting. We're going to get introduced to a word called casualties. Casualties make up a bunch of different things. It's not just deaths. So either write this down or pay attention to this. A casualty can be a death. A casualty can be a prisoner of war. A casualty can be a MIA, missing in action, someone that might have run away. A deserter is a casualty of war. If you are sick in battle or injured in battle, you are considered a casualty of war. Now, when we go through this in class, I would ask you, are there usually more numbers of casualties in a battle or more numbers of deaths? You should say that there's more numbers of casualties in every battle and every war ever fought on Earth, because casualties are made up of sick, missing, MIA, prisoner of war, or deaths as well. So for the fifth thing you got to do for each battle, you got to tell me the number of casualties for the Allied powers at the battle, number of casualties for the Central powers. And by this time, I want you to look at the total number of soldiers that fought and total number of casualties of the total number that fought in each one of these battles. So the seventh thing you have to do for each battle is to just find 2 fun facts about the battle. All right, number of deaths, the way that it was fighting, maybe a tank was introduced for the first time in World War I at this battle, something like that, and then the outcome. Who won, the Allies, or was it a victory for the Central Powers? Now let's get to the good stuff. Now, let's talk about grading. So this is a 50-point assignment, okay? This assignment is going to be due Friday at 2:40, turned into Shobi, and I'll have a folder there. Please pay attention to this. You must submit the work that you do on this project into Shobi on the day that you have me by 8 o'clock p.m. Now, hopefully at this point you have looked at the schedule and you know exactly where you're supposed to go on Zoom to get going on day 1 and day 2 of the week. So what does that mean for this assignment? So if you have me, period A, period B, or period C, you are going to submit what you have done on this project by 8 o'clock p.m. on Monday and on Wednesday. So you're going to be submitting this project to me 3 times. Monday, Wednesday, and then the final project all finished by 2:40 on Friday. Now, if you had me period D or period F, you must submit the work that you do on that day on this project by 8 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday and on Thursday. So you as well are going to be submitting this project 3 times in that Shobi folder labeled World War I Battle Presentation. Tuesday and Thursday, what you worked on by 8 o'clock, and then the final project at 2:40 on Friday. Now, if you are working with someone from another class, that person is responsible for submitting their work on the appropriate day that they have me, as I just explained above. And have me, once again, means the day that you're supposed to have me, either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay? Now, if you do not submit the work on the scheduled day that you have me, no matter what period you have me, I will start taking away from the 50-point grade that you start with. So this is a half a test grade. It is a huge assignment, and I hope you enjoy it, and we're really, really going to bring World War I to life, even more than we did before spring break, in this huge battle presentation. So if you have any questions, just email me, or you guys can go ahead and be getting ready to go. So have fun with it and good luck.